Gentlemen, welcome back to another video. My name is Stryker.
My name is Luba.
Now, a few weeks ago we did a video about will the Ukrainian woman, when she moves to the United States or any other Western country, will she become Westernized through the toxic feminist behavior that is in some of these countries, right? Whether it's through social media, pop culture, just hanging around with a bunch of cackling women down at the hair salon. Will she become Westernized? And we covered it, in some depth. And I'll put a link up here so you can go check that out if you haven't seen that video already. But one thing occurred to me about 3 days ago. I bought some IKEA furniture here for the office, and I was screwing it together with an Allen key. And I was thinking, where's Luba? Why do I have to do this? And I thought, no, it's because I'm the man. And then I thought to myself, if women in the West really want equality, they'd be the ones putting the furniture together.
I'm just a bit shocked. Did you expect me to put up the furniture?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you could come and hold the instructions or something like that, But then I thought to myself, women are always complaining in the West about, equality and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, they're not mowing the lawns, are they? At the house. They're not painting the house.
But they are planting the flowers?
No, they're not even doing that these days. They're not doing anything at all. They're just complaining, right? So, and it was kind of like a joke in my head and, that sort of passed quite quickly. But then I was thinking about, the whole Westernization of women, right, from Ukraine coming over to the United States. I'm using United States, can be UK, can be whatever. And one thing that I completely missed on that video, and I didn't even think about it, I just thought about, being in bad social circles with other women, is that what about men turning Eastern European women into these Western, we'll call them feminazis, right? So bear with me here for a second. A woman in Ukraine, having dated many women in Ukraine, I know what to do. I make sure that that she feels like a lady, right? That she feels special. And I'm not ashamed to say that. So, when she turns up, I make sure that she gets out of the car and she doesn't fall over and hit her face on the ground. I make sure that when she gets into the restaurant, I take her jacket off. I help her sit down, and I make her feel as though that she is actually special. She's not doing that stuff herself, and I think this is vitally important. In the West, this doesn't happen. Like, I couldn't even imagine any of my friends in the West, going to that extent with their girlfriends or someone that they were dating. I've never seen it before, and I'm pretty certain that if I went and did it, they would make fun of me. They would say, "Oh, look at you, trying to get some tonight by opening the door and doing all this stuff." But in Ukraine, it's just the way that it is. It's just part of the dating culture that is over there. Now, if a woman goes from Ukraine and goes over to the United States and dates a man who has never seen any of our videos, for instance, has no idea, she's going to be thinking, what's going on? Isn't he supposed to open the door for me? Why didn't he help me with my jacket? What's wrong with him? Is he stupid? Because that's what she knows from Ukraine. So she's dealing with men now that have been, molded and shaped by dating Western women. So she either has to adapt to him.
But there's two ways what can happen. Like, either she will tell him, like, if they're in a good relationship, and then this problem will be solved, or mostly what will happen, like exactly what you mean.
Well, I'm not even talking about to the point to getting to a relationship, because she might go on a date and go, this guy's clueless. He's like, what kind of a man is he? He's not doing the things that a man should do. He's clueless. And it's not necessarily his fault, but it is men that allowed it to happen, because men could have stood up and gone, hey, hang on a second here. And more men are doing that now. There's a lot of YouTube channels where men are like fighting for masculinity and all that sort of stuff, and good for them, and good for mankind as in actual men. But for a lot of men, they've got absolutely no idea at all. None. Zero. And they think that, doing that stuff is simpy, right? And maybe it is in the West. Maybe there is some merit to that. But if she doesn't, encounter that behavior when she's out dating, she's going on a lot of first dates, some second dates, and she doesn't encounter that, she has to learn not to accept that, or should I say, she should learn to accept that. In a perfect world, she would say to him, hey, look, you should open the door for me. He's going to go, why? What are you talking about opening the door for you? Well, the man opens the door for the woman. He's going to say, I'm not opening the door for you. What are you, some sort of a princess? Get out of here. That's what he's going to say. So she then has to adapt to him. She's in his country. When men come over to Eastern Europe or Ukraine, they have to change their ways. And this is one thing that we always talk about, is like, okay, you need to step out of what you've learned in the West, and you have to do things a little bit differently, what she is used to, right?
So you mean that by that action, like, she will just have to adjust to that, and that's how she will become Westernized by the man?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that she would just go, okay, well, I think it's a slippery slope, and I think that it's the men, or it could be the men, that
it can be part of
I think it can be the start.
Yeah.
He could be the one that pushes her down the slippery slope, where she's just like, well, this is a whole other culture. Men don't do that stuff. Men, are not really the protector, the provider, in that sense that she's used to, that she needs in Ukraine. And I it is partly fault of all men for not standing up and changing things throughout time. We really got beaten over the brow about this, but it's not necessarily 100% their fault. This is the way that society is in the West. It is getting worse. The stuff I see online at the moment is absolutely shocking, of what is being introduced into society from these feminists and these LGBTQs and whatever the rest of them goes with it. It's ridiculous. Men really don't have a chance in the West, which is why we advocate for going to another country where women actually need a man, where those traditional values are actually a necessity in a relationship. It was just a thought that I had, and I want you guys to think about this, right? Because I know a lot of you guys that follow us, you understand what we're saying. And, if you were dating a Ukrainian woman or an Eastern European woman that has come over to the United States, and there are a lot of them at the moment in every single of all of these Western countries, to remember what we are talking about. Because just because she came over to a Western country doesn't make her a Western woman yet.
And it's a choice of your relationship, how will you maintain that? Because what I can say from the experience is that truly, when you start a relationship with a lady, it's like a Play-Doh. You can do anything with this relationship you want, and you can try to adjust each other. I'm not saying about changing, because I definitely believe that to change somebody, it's almost impossible. But to adjust, to make sure that your relationship is harmony, that you are not equally in a bad way, but each of you play your role in this relationship. This is very important. And when the guys were coming at the beginning, before we start doing that many videos, and I was always telling don't forget to open the door, don't forget to help you with the code, their eyes for me was really, are you joking? Unfortunately, this was somewhere equally with the question that you need to shave your armpits. It was is it a joke, Luba? Tell me, Stryker, just tell me, is it a joke or no? Because, and when I ask why, but all of you looking for this traditional relationship, and they say, on the West, it's not common. If I open the door for the woman, she would say hey, listen, do you think I can't open the door myself?
She would think it's a joke.
Yeah, in Ukraine, it's absolutely impossible, and this is we over and over and over from video to video, we say that this is exactly what makes the lady attracted to you. It's not about money, or it's not about expensive dinners and stuff. It's little things that she observing during your date, or during your walk, or during your I don't know just communication in a coffee bar, that you can win her heart by these little things.
Well, I think these little things show competency as a man. You're competent to take care of her, and it's the smallest things. They're really the smallest things. It's just helping her with her coat, as opposed to her letting her struggle and take off this big fur coat by herself.
But also, it's like I think that all these things chair, I believe that when you're on a date, it's maybe completely different topic, but when you're on a date, it's very important to have a physical touch. We talk about these 5 languages, and the physical touch is very important to understand. Is there anything? Is there any chemistry? Is there anything going on with you? And when you help her with your coat, you can come closer to her. You can you can touch her shoulders. When you help her with a chair, you can touch some other parts. I'm joking, but this is exactly what's happening. This is how you build your relationship, step by step. What?
Yeah.
You imagine how many ladies you touched?
Yeah, I imagine how many coats I took off and didn't take advantage of that.
You didn't know. You need to
situation.
subscribe to my channel.
But that was just a thought that I had the other day. And the thing is that I think that women will become westernized by dating men who are used to dating Western women, right? That is the underlying message. Well, that is the message of this entire video, is that I think that is what is going to happen. Because I think in the West, 99.9% of men have absolutely no idea how to date women from Eastern Europe. And why should they? How could they know how to date a woman from Eastern Europe? And sure, there's going to be some haters out there that say, well, the women need to adapt to our culture.
But it's not what you're looking for. This is exactly why
that's
you're looking.
Point.
This is the point.
But that's the point. But you have to separate from guys that follow our channel, that know us, from other guys. And if there's a guy who's 28 years old, he's dating a woman, she's 25, whatever, from Ukraine, and he doesn't open the door. He doesn't do these small little things for her. She says, hey, why don't you do that stuff? And he says, well, you're in my country now, you do it the way that
and unfortunately, you know what's going to happen? Maybe, like, if the lady is, I don't know, like different personalities, right? Like one lady will definitely say that to your man and will be smart to say that in a way that he will not be offended or will not take it as a joke. He will say, oh, I would definitely do that. I didn't know. But there would be some ladies who would just be swallowing that, like being...
Most men won't say that in the West.
No, I mean, like the lady will be just, okay, he didn't open the door. Like, but she'll be in that country, she would grow this like offense inside. But with the time, instead of like, there can be two ways of doing. Either she will just say you everything that she feel, or she will just adjust to that, and she will become that feminist that can do anything, put up together IKEA closet and everything. And I think it's getting not attracted to the guys.
Well, that's the thing, you know. It all starts. In fact, I think if you could somehow go back in time, you built a time machine, you went back in time, and you went back to the first feminist, the first hardcore feminist. And you go right back to the moment when this little neuron in her brain sparked and went, you know what? We can do it better ourselves. It happened just before a man was supposed to take off her jacket.
Or put up together the IKEA table.
Yeah.
I want to say that in general, I think that people, like human being in general, man or woman, capable of anything. After everything that we went through, and I will talk about myself coming to a different country, even driving these 54 hours, I would never believe and think that I can do that, like I never did it before. But now I understand that, my favorite phrase is sky is the limit. So I believe that people can do anything. But I think it's much better to take this, like to keep these roles in a relationship, feminine and masculine, and try to keep it as long as it's possible, and not let your woman become westernized and become same as others that...
Or let any woman become westernized, even if you just go on a date. Like, and the thing that really sucks, that's frustrating for me, is that most guys that are going to do that are going to bring the Western ways on a date, will never see our videos. But unfortunately, one of the guys that you guys that are following our videos may get the aftermath of it. But even if she's just had shitty experiences dating some Western guys, like, you can easily revive it. It's still inside her. And also, I'll just add here is that Alexandra, hopefully, right? Are we going to do it?
Yeah.
She's it's just difficult to line up. We've talked about it, difficult to line up our schedules with each other. But she's moved to the United States. She was a friend with Vaughn's wife, who was one of our clients, and they moved over there together. And she's been out dating. She's been on a few dates on Tinder, and we want to ask her: did they take off her jacket? Did they ask her to put together the IKEA furniture?
Or what actually was happening?
And what happened? And what was your experience?
One thing that I want to add here is that I believe that very important to, when you go to a different country, for example, to travel, you look what to watch there, right? Like what to look at, like what kind of, what famous castle is there or famous museum. When you go to different country, try to learn some words, like, you want to learn like hello, goodbye, or something, thank you. So I believe that when you start dating, it's also very important to learn some stuff before you start dating, to not get into problems. Yeah. So that's it. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hopefully we didn't bore you guys too much, but those are just thoughts we have. And I think if you really, really think about it, it's all very true. So yeah, just be careful out there, guys. If you like the video, subscribe, like, and catch you next time.